As a melting pot of culinary innovation and creation, it is no secret that America is home to some of the greatest sandwiches in the world. And so that's why we're going to find the greatest sandwich in America. So I threw up a poll on Instagram asking you for what you think the best regional sandwich in America is. And it could be anywhere, we'll go. We based that poll off of a reputable article, added a couple more just for extra oomph, and the results are in. And this journey is gonna take us to 8 cities across America to find what we're looking for. With all that being said, let's begin at the 5th bottom most voted for sandwich.
Po' boys. You can only have a true one if you start off in Louisiana. And that's where we are. It's kind of a way of life here. You can have them however you want. Choose your own adventure. You can do shrimp, you can do beef, you can do a mix of the two. We moved. We can't get away from the music. We really tried. We tried for a long time. So enjoy the music while you can. We're getting the po' boy the same way across the board for every single place that we go to. And that is fried shrimp, fully dressed on a po' boy roll for every single spot. So with all that said, let's begin in our first spot. Guys, this is a local secret. It's not talked about enough. It's Guy's Po' Boys. They're famous for their shrimp po' boy. I've been here before, by the way. I really like this guy. It's literal mom and pop shop. Little blue building. They're here every day, every time I come here. And the product is always incredible. Cheers. Oh God. I'm nervous for the other sandwiches. We're starting on a remarkable high. Every little shrimp feels like it was made love to. Crunchy, light thin, wispy breading, but you guys know how I feel about salt. And the salt levels in this sandwich are quite literally perfect. Everything was fried fresh. It's super hot. Shrimp's cooked nicely. It's got like a seasoning to it. It's not just salt, obviously. The bread is soft. It just all makes sense. But what I really like is they don't skimp on all the toppings. It's loaded with fresh tomato, lettuce. I'm a big mayo guy. They load it up with the mayo. Without the mayo, the sandwich wouldn't be what it is. Everything's what I want it to be. Honestly, this sandwich is immediately starting us off at an 8.5. I rarely give 8s. We're gonna need a really good sandwich to beat this. Moving on. Okay, so we're at Doma Lisa's, a family-owned neighborhood bar, which then added food, but their food might be as legendary as the bar. I will say, this place is 106 years old, only slightly older than me. It looks good. The shrimp are small, they're like little baby shrimp. I can't complain about that. I like that. It's pretty good. I have some thoughts on it. The shrimp are cooked actually more nicely here, I will say. A little more juicy, if you will. Breading's crisp. It's not overcooked, which I appreciate. Sometimes when people fry shrimp, they go too long, they get a little too dark. This is nice. Bread, chewy, crisp on the outside. Actually surprisingly salty bread, but I do like it. My one quarrel is I wish the shrimp had a little more seasoning on them. They're not necessarily undersalted, but they do kind of get lost in the flavor of the ketchup and the mayo. Not perfect, but it's very good, and I would 100% come back here. I think it's deserving of a strong standing 6.5. Moving on. Okay, we're at Parkway. A little different of a vibe. It's maybe considered the more touristy place. Can you tell? I can. I don't want to go home. We're gonna wait in line now for 400 years. See you in a second. We got the sandwich. It actually wasn't that bad. We managed to time this out so good. You can probably see the line from here. We waited maybe 10, 15 minutes, got in, no big deal. Now it's looking more like 45 to an hour. This better stand up to that. And I will say, visually, in comparison to the other two, this definitely stands up for being a more potentially touristy location that's been there for 113 years, supposedly approached by Beyonce and Barack Obama. That's pretty high up there. This is pretty good. One thing I like about this, they really load you up on the shrimp. They're not skimping at all. And these shrimp are big. These are jumbo shrimp, not the little baby ones we got before. They're not seasoned as nicely as Guys, but they are seasoned. Salt levels are pretty good. I just would have liked a little more seasoning in general, maybe like 5% more. The mayo is present. I do kind of wish it was a little more evenly spread. Some bites you get mayo, some bites you don't, which I don't love. I'd like it to be more even. Same thing with the pickles. You got 2 back here, so you're basically gonna have to eat half this sandwich before you get to any pickles. Look, that's just me being anal. I get it. They're moving quick, so totally fine. This sandwich is really close to the Guys one, but is it better? The shrimp are cooked a little bit better in this, but they're not seasoned as nicely. The bread is pretty much the same. It's chewy on the outside, fluffy on the inside. It's kind of got everything else. I give this a solid 7.5. This is a great sandwich.
And Guys wins out of the 3 that you voted for so far.
Moving on to our next sandwich, and it begins in
Florida. There's an iconic sandwich here, the Cubano. This was the 4th most voted for sandwich on the list. It's a pretty simple sandwich. It's Cuban bread, butter, pressed and toasted, but what's in between is what matters, which is typically a salty cured pork, ham, roast pork, mustard, and pickles, sometimes mayo. So although it's a simple sandwich, I'm glad it's on this list because I would argue that it's one of the most iconic sandwiches in America, specifically in Florida. We're gonna be visiting some places in Miami and in Tampa based off of your votes. So let's begin. We're at Sandwich. This place started in 2017 out of a shipping container, and today is considered one of the best and was the most voted for Cubano place in the entire Florida area. Supposedly, they brine their ham for days and marinate the roast pork for 24 hours. They also hold a Michelin Bib Gourmand since 2022. So you hear that? This looks like a sticker that you would put to wrap around a cigar. This looks remarkably good. The ham looks fresh sliced, it's juicy, but also the roast pork, the mojo pork. I thought it was gonna be like shredded, but it looks like they slow roast it, chill it, and then slice it. Wow, it's actually really good. I'm not gonna lie, Cubanos are good. I make them, I eat them, I'm a fan of them. But I've also felt like they are a little overrated sometimes. It's like, oh, it's ham, roast pork, and a pickle, who cares? But this made me realize I was wrong about that. This is delicious. The outside's crispy, it's crusty, you can taste the butter on the crust. It's salty, it's a little sweet, it's acidic, the cheese. But the best thing about it, it's not overwhelmed by any singular flavor. It all works together, you get every little piece. I do feel like I wish the ham was a little saltier. I got a salt-heavy palate. But that said, this is a wonderful sandwich. I'm gonna give it an 8. Sandwich, you're doing good. Moving on.
Our next stop was Columbia Restaurant in Tampa.
Started out as a saloon and over 120 years later grew to a whole city block. It's beautiful. It's got vibes, it's got great music, and it's got these stunning artistic tiles. This is supposedly the oldest recorded Cubano sandwich right here at this very restaurant. I waited for an hour to get this sandwich. The sun went from fully up to completely set. So I think this died in the window, to be dead honest with y'all. So I really hope this is worth it. That is ice cold cheese. There's a big different element to this sandwich than the other one. They added salami to this, which I had no idea was gonna be a thing. I do like the addition of the salami, but it's not really making up for the fact that this sandwich wasn't primo. I do like the seasoning on it though. The salt level's good. The roast pork on this is extremely dry though, I'm not gonna lie. But everything else is seasoned nicely. The cheese isn't melted, the bread is crispy. I mean, it's like, to me, that gives this a 6.8. If it were like really nice and hot and cheesy, I might give it a 7.5. The sandwich is still good, I just wouldn't wait an hour for it. The bread that was made by a place called La Segunda Bakery, which also happens to be our final stop. This is their original location, which has been open since 1915. This isn't just some bakery. This is an institution, putting out 18,000 loaves a day, the old school way, you know, with the palmetto leaf where they make the split and everything. I've made my own Cuban bread, and honestly, I think theirs is significantly better than mine. Despite all that though, it was the least voted one on the list, but we felt we needed to go there anyway because it was such a Cuban bread institution, so surely their Cubano may be a winner. This actually looks promising. This toast looks beautiful. The bottom, the top, crisp. This fresh bread is absolutely bonkers. This is the best bread we've had on any sandwich. It's almost flaky because it's fresh. Now, the place we went to yesterday used the same bread, but this one's better because it's fresher. The pickles are nice, not too acidic, not too salty. Ham is salty. The roast pork is seasoned pretty well. It's not dry. What I really like is this yellow mustard, or whatever mustard there is in here. It's almost like borderline creamy, like a Dijonnaise, but it's stone ground. My biggest complaint is the cheese is not melted. I don't know what it is about these places that they make the Cuban and they never melt the cheese, except for sandwich. But the salt levels are better on this. Honestly, I'm gonna also give this sandwich an 8. That's right, we have a tie. You have a place in Miami and you got a place in Tampa. You know where to go. You're welcome. Moving on. So we're in Chicago for the one and only Italian beef. It is thinly sliced beef that has been braised in a nice jus, served in between a roll that's then been dunked in the jus. It's juicy, it's fatty, it's messy, it's delicious. It is single-handedly the definitive Chicago street food. This was the 3rd most voted for sandwich on our entire list, thanks to you. So we're starting this off at Al's. Now, I have a few points about this. Number 1, Al's is supposedly the inventor of the Italian beef. This is what we've read, this is what we've heard. Number 2, this is the original Al's location, okay? So we kept this as OG as humanly possible to kick this off right. This is their Italian beef. It looks pretty good. It's messy, it's drippy, it's juicy. I mean, I can just tell. Look at this thing. It is quite literally dripping. So first one of the day, here we go, cheers. Okay, I like it, I do like it. The bread is nice and chewy, but the first bite you get, it's almost like just gushing in your mouth with salty, slightly spicy, juicy beef broth. It's not a complete mushy sponge. It's still chewy, it's got integrity, I like that. The beef is nice and tender, it's not dry, which I appreciate. Flavor-wise, I feel like it could be a bit more diverse. It feels a little one note. I'm not tasting much of the peppers. The giardiniera, it doesn't really give much. It's a wonderful Italian beef. If you go here, you'll probably be happy. I don't know that this is the best or not, but I'll give it a solid 7.8.
So Al's didn't really do well. But the other 2 Italian beefs could still beat it and become the best sandwich in America.
Okay, we're now at Portillo's. This is the most voted for place on the entire list of Italian beef. This is the most widely accessible Italian beef restaurant in Illinois. Probably, honestly, in America, because they're scaling outside of Illinois. It makes sense they'd be the most voted for, but that doesn't necessarily mean they're the best. We got their typical Italian beef. By the way, we're ordering all these the same. Traditional Italian beef with both a mix of sweet and hot peppers and dipped on both sides. Same exact way, all locations, just to keep it fair. This one is the messiest. I feel like they made this one a while ago. It's almost like too wet to eat. Now hang on, right away, this is better than Al's. Flavor, way better. I don't care if there's MSG in here or not, it fucking tastes better. The flavors are diversified, it's beefy, it's rich, it's a little bit of a pickled flavor from the peppers, the spices and the jus. And the beef, the best part about it is the beef flavor isn't lost. My one deduction though is texture. The peppers are super overcooked, way too mushy. The bread is just completely obliterated. They either dunked it too long or this has been sitting for too long because it's honestly a mushy mess. But the beef is nice. So all in all, I'd give this an 8. Not bad, Portillo's. Moving on.
Our final stop was Mr. Beef, but it turns out they were filming The Bear. We came back later that night, where our buddy Chris stayed open for us. He fired us off some beefs, gave me a kiss as usual. Not gonna show that on camera. And it was time to taste and see if the reigning champion still holds up.
I need to address something. I know people are going to think, well, Josh, you've been to Mr. Beef before. Aren't you friends with him? Isn't there a bias here? Listen, I've eaten around. I've had different Italian beefs already, and I became friends with him after I had his sandwich. So let's see if it upholds the standard. Just the smell of this is unbelievable. First thing I'm smelling, beef. I smell the braise, I can get the jardiniere. You can smell the celery and the chilies on it. I haven't even taken a bite. That said, I am gonna take a bite.
Could this end up being the best sandwich out of everything we've had so far? Are we looking at the best sandwich in America?
It's juicy, it's seasoned perfectly. I don't even know where my brain is right now. Jardinera by far is the best out of any of the sandwiches we've had. It's fresh, I taste the celery, I taste the chilies, I taste every last little aromatic that's in there, the seasonings. There's like a little bit of olive oil in the jardinera like it's supposed to, so it's got some fattiness to it. But the beauty of this sandwich is the main event, beef. And I'm talking like a nice steak combined with the nicest roast beef you've ever had. It's thin, it's tender, it's not dry at all. It melts in your mouth, it's fatty, it's salted perfectly. It doesn't need any more or any less salt. It's right where it needs to be. Despite the fact that it's so messy, it holds together pretty well. And this bread, it cannot fall apart, it doesn't fall apart, but it does absorb those juices. So it's both juicy and spongy, but chewy at the same time. Out of all the Italian beefs we've had today, I'm gonna give this one a solid 9.2.
A staggering 9.2, a rating that is very few and far to come by around here. But our journey has many sandwiches and states left.
Moving on to the next sandwich. We're in Omaha at the Crescent Moon, the original ale house, for one thing and one thing only, the Reuben. This was our second most voted for sandwich in all votes you guys submitted. Everyone thinks that the Reuben was invented in New York. Actually, we found out that it's not true. It was invented in Omaha, Nebraska. This place, Crescent Moon, suggests that they have the original recipe. Now, a Reuben is a sandwich with corned beef, sauerkraut, Swiss cheese, Thousand Island dressing, or Russian dressing to be specific, on rye bread that has been grilled or griddled. Sometimes the bread's toasted, sometimes it's not. I personally prefer it toasted, so I will be judging off that. So let's eat it. Oh yeah. The big waste management garbage truck arrived in this location, and he's gonna park right there. This is a Reuben. It's good. Let's talk about this toast. We ordered this ahead of time. It sat closed like this, and I was worried about that. The toast maintained. The toast upheld. It's crunchy, crisp. I can taste the marbled rye, which I appreciate, but it's not overly rye-y, if that's a term. Corned beef, beautifully tender. It's fatty, rich, it's moist, not dry. It should fall apart. I love that they put the Thousand Island dressing. It's got just the right amount of cheese. This is a great sandwich. This is an 8. I wish we had this in Austin. I would eat this all the time. There's a reason this has been voted the #1 Reuben in Omaha, and it easily solidifies itself.
As I was saying, it solidifies itself as a contender for the best Reuben in America, but will it be trumped? On to our next stop in LA, Langer's.
Kate's gonna be filming us today. Thank you, Kate, for volunteering. You seem excited. Okay, we're at Langer's Deli. Their rye is double baked, supposedly. If you want a traditional Reuben, though, you gotta get the number, I believe, 88. First thought, not as salty as it should be. It does have good flavor, though. It's fatty, it's delicate, it's not dry at all, super moist. Appearance-wise, it looks like a typical Reuben. It's just missing salt. Maybe with the dressing, it'll help. This literally makes the sandwich. When you don't have Russian dressing, this is easily 5 out of 10. But with the Russian dressing, it takes it all the way up to a solid 7 out of 10. Hopefully, the next one is better. We're at the #1 most voted for Reuben sandwich out of anything. Like, nothing compared to this place at all in terms of volume of votes. What is that place, might you wonder? It's Katz's. Here's the first thing I'll say. I would never come to this place and wait in this line. That's insane. I was stopped multiple times coming in and leaving to get my Reuben. Like I was stealing something. But really what it was a $35 sandwich. $35, not including tax. When I walked in, I was like, there should be an order for Josh Weissman. They're like, did you call? They were looking for like a number or something. I was like, I don't know, someone called for me. And they're like looking at me all skeptical, like pissed off at me. Can you just check to see if there's a name with Josh Weissman? Sure enough, there was. And they're like looking at it, they look at me and they're like, I'm gonna need a number for you to get this order, bro. And I'm like, I have a license. And I showed them the license. They're looking at the license and the name. And I'm like, give me the sandwich. I showed you my driver's license for a sandwich. It's better live up to that. Here's a fun fact. I'm not sure if it's a whole pound, but it's borderline a pound of meat. I mean, there's a bit of meat on this, but is it worth it? no. First of all, you have so much time to cure this and smoke this and make sure this is as good as possible. How is this under seasoned? Look at this. The salt level should be better, it should be more cured. Texturally, it's pretty good. It's tender, it's juicy, it's not too dry, but end of day, the beef is still surprisingly dry. The bread's good, kraut's good, everything else is there, flavor's there, but the salt is not there. Appearance, it looks beautiful. All things added up, the experience of leading up to this sandwich, does it warrant the clout that it has? Not really, no. I'm gonna give this a very even flat 6. Maybe on a good day, it's a 7. I don't know about the local New Yorkers, but you tell me, do you wanna wait 2 hours, spend maybe $70 to $100 for 2 sandwiches? Are you gonna feel good about it? You got New York, you can eat anywhere. I kind of feel bad saying it, but this is what I'm experiencing right now.
And just like that, Crescent Moon takes the throne for the very best Reuben out of the 3 that you voted for. But we have one more sandwich to consider in the running.
Philadelphia. This is the #1 most voted for sandwich on all of our list of sandwiches, the Philly cheesesteak. And we're starting at our #3 most voted for location, John's Roast Pork. The last time we came to Philadelphia, we were kind of disappointed in the things that we tried. Most of these places we haven't been to, so it could redeem it and it could be the winner. I do need to clarify how I'm gonna be ordering this. It's very important. Cheesesteaks are kind of a personal choice. Some people say, oh, cheese whiz, not cheese whiz, American cheese, not American cheese. So to keep this super duper 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 simple, we're doing a simple cheesesteak with provolone, beef, salt and pepper, onions, light mayo, and that is it. And all of them will be exactly the same to make a fair comparison. This place has been here for a long time, 1930. I will say the most prominent food critic in Philadelphia has voted this to be the best cheesesteak in Philadelphia. So it's got a lot to live up to. Let's try it. This is a great start, I'm not gonna lie. You got the seeded hoagie roll. It's soft, but it's toasty. It's got a little bit of chew on the outside. The cheesiness of this is beautiful. The meat looks nice, smells great. Cheers. Wow. This is an incredible Philly cheesesteak, actually remarkable. This makes me want to come back to Philadelphia just for this. It's chewy, it's fresh, it's nice. You get a little bit of the sesame. The beef fat is like soaked into this. You're getting that beefy flavor. The provolone is perfuming the whole thing. You smell it before you even eat it. I do wish the meat was a little less dry. That's just me being really anal, but I'm still gonna give this a solid 8.5.
Already on a high. All we need is for one of these last 2 sandwiches to get a minimum of 0.1 higher than our current leader to win the best sandwich in America.
I'm excited for this one. We were at De Lissandro's. The last time we came here, this was the #1 most voted for another video, but they were closed. And we're back and we're finally able to try it for the first time. I'm really excited about it. It's constantly in the Philadelphia Philly cheesesteak conversation. I'm hoping for good reason. John's Roast Pork kicked it off strong, so there's a lot to live up to here. It is not seeded, that's very sad. The seeded roll is not a requirement, I just like them. And here we go. I don't know. The one rule I have is probably the easiest thing for most restaurants to achieve, which is just put enough salt. It does have salt, it's just low. It's so low that the entire thing is sweetened by the onions excessively. It's got a good chew though, I do like it. All I taste is really stinky, strong provolone, which I do like stinky, strong provolone. So that's actually helping the sandwich. But I don't know, man, to me, it's like barely gets a 6 out of 10. I wanna say 5 out of 10, but I'm gonna be nice only because I know De Lissandro's has a lot of clout in this area and I'm thinking maybe they just had a bad day. I'm kind of embarrassed, honestly, on their behalf. We are now moving on to the most voted for Philly cheesesteak, might even be the best sandwich. Okay, we are at Angelo's. This is the #1 most recommended place because of you. Ooh, it's hot. Oh my goodness, look at the bread. Wow, first of all, I don't even need to try this to tell you this is the best bread I have ever seen on a Philly cheesesteak. This is how a hoagie should always be. You got little blisters. It's almost like a French baguette. This is baked nicely. It's got the seeded roll. I like seeds on mine, but this cross section, the beef has a Maillard. It's caramelized. The onions look nice. Everything here, it's juicing. Cheers. Holy fuck. Little crispy on the edge, nicely. Chewy, moist, not dry. And that's just the bread. We haven't even gotten into the little party going on in here. The meat seasoned, quite literally, perfectly. Not too much salt, not too little salt. The onions are seasoned. It's creamy. The provolone has like melted and formed into a sauce with the mayo, which is what should happen. My hands are covered in fat and grease as it should be. Just one last remark, which is the beef. We had every single one be a little too chewy, a little too dry. This beef is not. This is perfectly tender.
All that being said, where does it rank across all sandwiches we've tasted on our journey?
The sandwich is a 9.5. I'm not even joking. I don't think I've ever given a 9.5. This is hands down one of the best sandwiches I think I've ever put in my f***ing mouth. This redeemed Philadelphia to me. Philly, you should have been in my heart all along, and you wouldn't have been if it weren't for Angelo's. So that means that at the end of the day, everything we've tried, we've been to multiple states across the country. This was honestly not a fun trip, I'm not gonna lie. But that means that out of all the sandwiches I've eaten, this is not only one of the tops, but it is the greatest Philly cheesesteak I have ever had in my life. And this one wins by a landslide.
We compiled all of the greatest sandwiches based off thousands of votes and everyone's opinions across the nation, and it brought us here.
So that's it for the video. Thanks so much, subscribe, and goodbye.